Welcome into Payroll Connected, Canada's first and only fully automatic payroll processing software. This video tutorial will give you a brief overview on how to schedule your employees for work and how to prepare a payroll. However, if you like the software and want to go into more detail, then at the bottom of every page within the software is a link called Watch Video Tutorials. When you click on this link, it'll bring you to a library of videos that will go into further detail on how to configure your company, set up your employee records, more information on how to use the scheduler, as well as payroll running and finalization. So if you try the software and you like it, be sure to click on the Watch Video Tutorials link at the bottom of every page within the software and view these tutorials to ensure that your company is configured correctly, and you'll also get more information on how to use the software effectively. You selected that you like to enter in the number of hours an employee worked in a workday. We do recommend that companies keep some formal record of start times and end times for their employees. However, this is an easy way to enter in a simple schedule for your employees to do their payroll run. To get started, select the first day on which the employee did some work. In this case, we'll start with the 10th. You can adjust the department or location if required, and then choose the employee you want to schedule for. Next, we'll consider the shift duration. All we need to do in this case is enter in the length of the shift in the shift length field, leaving all these other fields blank. To enter in the length of a shift, you can either enter in the value using a decimal place. For instance, 7.5 hours will result in a 7-hour and 30-minute long shift. Or else you can enter in a semicolon to separate the hours from minutes. Or you have the option of using a forward slash to separate hours from minutes. So for instance, this will also come up with 7 hours and 30 minutes. Next, consider the Add Shift to Check Days field. Here you can set the days on which this employee has worked exactly this shift length. And when we click on Add Shift to Checked Days, we can see that the shift has been added below. By default, we're viewing in the daily view mode, which shows you all the work done on a certain day, and it's a highly detailed view. You can also edit or delete shifts from this view. Another useful view is the employee view. When we click on this button, you will notice that it shows you what this employee's shifts look like inside a calendar format, and also be aware that it automatically sets a filter to show you a single employee's record. Simply because if we allowed more than one employee, this calendar would quickly become a bit of a mess. And also be aware that even if we go back to the daily view, the filter will still be set for just showing one employee at a time, but we can easily click on it to show all employees, and all of your employee shifts for this day would be shown below here. However, let's go back to employee view. And you can see that by hovering over this edit icon, you can edit and delete shifts from here as well. Alright, so we have partial schedule created for this employee. Now let's set a shift for the 11th, 17th, and 19th to 21st as well. So going back up to our scheduler, we can click on the text inside the dates in this area to automatically jump to that date as well. So that's a handy little way to jump around. And we already have the date set, the employee is the same. Let's simply set another shift length. In this case, we'll give them a 7-hour shift. And we'll set it for the days remaining inside this period. And when we click on Add Shift to Check Days, we can now see that we have a full schedule for this employee. Notice that the yellow cells indicate a statutory holiday. In this case, it's Good Friday. And the green field indicates whatever date you have selected in the shift date field. So like that, it gives you an easier way to plan your schedules. Now that we have the schedule entered in, we can click on Management and go to Payroll Prepare. Then enter in the pay period end date and the date on which the employees were actually given their paycheck. When we click on Submit Date, it will use that schedule and automatically calculate their payroll. Here we can see our employee. And if we click on View Timesheet, it will give you a detailed timesheet document which shows every single shift you scheduled them for, as well as how much regular and overtime that they've earned, as well as if they qualify for statutory holiday pay. It also shows you a sample payslip. As you can see, all the money that the employee earns is on the left-hand side as a positive amount, and all the money being deducted is on the right-hand side as negative amounts. Of course, it also gives their net pay as well as any vacation information. If this payroll was correct, we can put a check mark here and move on to finalization. Here is where we can choose if we want to email payslips to employees, or we can remove this check mark if you want to print them out and hand them their payslips yourself. However, in this case, I think we should add another employee to this payroll run. And this is also important. If you viewed the timesheets and the payslips and found out that something needed to be changed, you can simply go back to the scheduler and make whatever changes you need. In this case, we're going to add a new employee to this payroll run. So once again, I'll start the date on the first day that this employee worked, and I will select myself to schedule for. Let's say I have a shift length of 6 hours long, and we're going to set that schedule for the entire 2-week period. And when we click on Add Shift to Check Days, we can now see that my schedule has been added below. Once again, we can go back to Management, enter in the pay period end date and the day on which I got paid, and when we click on Submit Date, you'll see that my payslip has also been added to this payroll run. When we click on View Timesheets, we can see my timesheet and the employee's timesheet, as well as my payslip and the employee's payslip. So just like that, it's really easy to add employees to a payroll run, make any changes we need to schedules, and verify that a payroll is actually correct before we finalize it. And that's all there is to running with Payroll Connected. Once again, if you like the software and you want to properly configure your company within it, simply click on the Watch Video Tutorials link found at the bottom of every page within the software and review these tutorials to get your company configured and running with Payroll Connected. Thank you for watching and have a great day.